Do you remember the little you at high school, being bored during your physics class and staring at the clock waiting for it to show 10 a.m.? Well, I do, because that was me, 15 years old bored dude during literally every single lecture, until I discovered a very original hobby. Now, if you're single and want to impress your crush with your skills, well, leave this video, because that is the most nerdy skill that you can have, but it does look cool, so you should probably just stay. Started from the beginning, I started spinning pen like a normal dude with an ink eraser trying to spin it around my thumb, not knowing that there was a whole community and thing about it. I started looking up some more tutorials and discovering that there was actually a lot of tricks with names for each of them. But I would only practice in class, and after the third time where I would drop my pen, I would just be kicked out. So I basically never had the chance to practice properly, to master this art. But a couple of weeks ago, as I was back on track on YouTube and social media, a video showed up about an Asian guy, the Pope of pen spinning, followed by 3 million people for his skills. And I was like, that's some kind of huge number of subs, you know what I mean? So I decided to get back at it, and I started looking up the basics again and basically how to become good at it. So to start out from the beginning, I looked up the basic tricks, the start of my career, and I found these 4 tricks: the thumb around, the finger pass, the charge, and the sonic. First thing first, thumb around. I was already quite familiar with this trick since it is when you spin your pen around your thumb, but I still had to practice in order to get it done perfectly every single time. So after spinning it for around 300 times in a day, I finally got quite comfortable with it. It basically consists in holding your pen as if you were about to write, therefore in between your index finger and thumb, but with the longest parts towards the bottom, and holding the pen onto the first third of its length. Then spinning it around your thumb before catching it in the same position as before. Now that I got the first step in, I moved on to the next one, the charge, which is also a basic trick that I somehow could do pretty well. And as I learned the pen spinning slang, I could do charge 2-3 and 3-4, which is a very specific term to say spinning the pen from middle to index finger and ring finger to middle one. I then move on to the next basic trick, the finger pass. But to just make sure that all of you watching this video don't have to listen to your physics teacher, I needed to have a pen with a great momentum, which basically is the relation between the weight and the velocity of the pen. You're welcome. And as an ink eraser is definitely not close to a good momentum, I then grabbed a couple of pens from a local shop and started cutting them apart to create a somehow proper pen spinning mode, since that's how it is called. I kinda had a proper thing to start with, so I started looking up some more tutorials. Finger pass is considered as a hard basic trick, and requires a lot of hours of training to get a proper one. So I got straight to it. It just literally consists of making the pen fall or climb in between all of the fingers. And what I noticed here is that the length of the pen plays a huge role in how good you can do the trick. And as always, the longer, the better. But after creating some neurological connection to coordinate my fingers, my hands starting to acknowledge how to make this trick. I then moved on to the last basic trick that I had to learn, the sonic. The sonic honestly came in the easiest for me. Somehow the pen seemed to be spinning itself. I just had to start the rotation and the weight of the pen would do the rest. So to do the sonic, take your pen mode in slot 2-3, closer to one of its tips with the longest part looking away from you. Put this tip here in a way that the initial position would look somehow like this. Pinky, middle, and ring finger are slightly bent. The middle finger is a bit above the ring one, index looks up, and thumb is up and bent a little towards other fingers. Now to break the myth about pen spinning, fingers should be fully relaxed, not tense. Now push your pen with the middle finger and at the same time move thumb away, releasing the tip out of the thumb flat, and at the same time raise your ring finger, bumping the pen up, and this tip of the pen should slide down, just like this. I quickly started to get better at it. While learning the sonic, I somehow managed unconsciously to connect the sonic and the finger pass together, which I have to admit is quite satisfying. Okay, now that we got the basics in, it's time to move on to the crusty part, the cool looking part, the part that will help you get that girl from your class on a date. Oh no, forget about that. But it is time to learn combos. Before learning them, I decided to upgrade my pen spinning game and I bought a real pen spinning mode. I kind of love the Japanese culture, so when I realized that there was a mode called Sakura and another one called Wisteria, I obviously couldn't help ordering it. After waiting a couple of days, the pen finally arrived, and I was ready to keep going. This is the Wisteria Element Pen mode from Mr. Nope, the same dude who has millions of followers on social medias and who knows all of the pen spinning tricks in the world. It weighs 22.5 grams and its length is about 23 centimeters. With a cool design on it, I knew this was the one. Now, I was very happy about my new pen, and the pattern when I was spinning it at around 62 kilometers per hour was quite cool. But I quickly remembered what I realized a couple of weeks ago, that more doesn't make me better. And I stupidly thought that by buying the same pen as this master of pen spinning, well, I would get quickly to that level. But once again, I was wrong. So it was quite of a struggle to be able to get a proper combo without failing either on the first trick, the second one, or the last one. And I realized again that I was turning everything that I was doing into an art. In this case, the art of pen spinning. As every art, it takes time, practice, and discipline to be able to reach a proper beginner level. And after hours of spinning, days of enduring pain in my fingers, sweating all of the water I had in my body, I was finally able to look cool. I mean, it speaks by itself, right? Now, okay, to get more serious, this is how in a week I managed to upgrade my pen spinning level and what it looked like. It will definitely not bring me anywhere in life, but at least it will train my fingers for when I'll become a veterinary surgeon. Or maybe not even, but yeah, thanks for watching.